We're going to talk some Diamond Vols and some Lady Vols softball as well. We talk about a lot of NIL and what opportunities they may or may not get. But the simple fact is, Tennessee, Caleb, I think when we look at the Lady Vols, we're sometimes a little bit too rough on them because of their history. Tennessee has two very respectable women's athletic programs in the two most visible sports. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they are a one fluke play in softball from winning the '07 national title, in which Monica Abbott would have gone down as being having the greatest postseason in the history of softball that year. And so I think you remember that, right? Where she pitched every single inning and didn't allow a run the entire College World Series until the final, until the bottom of the 12th inning in a elimination game that Tennessee should have won, but she got no help from her offense. I mean, it was, and then they lost the next game because she had just gotten burned out and had no run support. But yeah, no, they have two very, very good women's sports programs in basketball and softball.
Does the baseball team have to be special for people to care? I mean, it was special 2 years ago. It had a lot of good storylines, or can it just be good?
I think it needs to be special, but part of special is Tony Vitello just angering fan bases everywhere. And I think Tennessee kind of, okay, put it this way. Baseball, and I think softball should do this too. Some of these lesser sports, they need to kind of WWE it up a little bit. And I don't mean fix it, but I mean create some villains out of it. You know what I mean? Where I think, as you know, Dave, wasn't that the biggest reason the NBA was able to take off in the 80s? People say what you want about the Pistons. They embraced being the villain and the most hated team in the NBA, didn't they? And they were willing to let everybody know that, yeah, we don't care if you hate us. We're still going to be dominant. And I think baseball and softball for college need some of that. You're seeing that with women's basketball right now with the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark and stuff like that. I think you need a little more of that chippiness. You don't need it in football because football's so beloved, but I think baseball, softball, and women's basketball need that.
Okay, so I don't know that you're going to get that in baseball. Most of those guys are pretty buttoned down. The exception would be Tennessee, which allowed their players to do a ton of things in 2022. That was exciting. And yeah, you didn't have much of that in the Lady Vols and their softball success. Do you need those storylines in the Lady Vols?
I think so. Again, I don't know how much.
What is the great storyline? There's no.
No, that's what I meant. I don't know what.
There's no Gino Auriemma sitting out there, which would be nice, right?
Yeah, I don't know if softball would ever be able to get to the level where it had it. And just I want to give everybody a quick breakdown real quick. Tennessee softball started the year 4-0, and they were as high as number 2. They're now 4-2. They lost 1 games to Stanford and Texas. Had their last 3 games canceled due to rain. Tennessee baseball opened the weekend beating number 18 Texas Tech. Then they lost to Oklahoma in extra innings, and then they beat Baylor. So they're now 2-1. Both of these are top 5 caliber teams this year that you could really see compete for a national title.
Nope. And I think it's huge. I think being in front of those, it may be a non-revenue sports, but being in front of those households is a really big deal. And you do sense that but baseball being in the Knoxville area now has already built some equity, some credibility. So if they struggled one year, it's not like everybody'd be off the bandwagon the following year. You can just feel that really around town. And that's even with the new baseball stadium coming in. Have you heard exactly how they're going to do that? Do you know the new baseball stadium and how it will coexist with the Diamond Vols, or any idea?
Nothing. I got nothing on that. What I will say with baseball is that where baseball has an advantage over softball. First of all, I don't know if you can give me your thoughts. I'm going to give you my thoughts real quick on this. In terms of comparing the two, who's more likely to win a national title? I think it's softball this year, believe it or not.
Agreed.
The reason is because softball has a top 3 caliber team, top 3. And softball, for those who don't know how the sport works, softball doesn't have as much randomness in it as baseball does. And you get what I'm talking about, Dave. We talk about this all the time. Like, football's the sport where in no other sport will the better team win more often than in football in a 1-game setting, right?
I think high 70s to 80% of the time, yes.
Yes. Baseball, it's 50-50. It's really fit. Like it's when the Yankees play the Tigers, it's a 55 to 45 shot the Tigers may win in a regular season baseball game. And
not to throw like a complete left field pitch at you, but which one of the Lady Vols would be Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark? If there had been so much coverage, because nowadays you don't have to go looking for Lady Vols games. You can find her, and let's give her some credit for being the superstar she is. I mean, she's on Subway commercials and everything else. So, I mean, to overcome what she's overcome in being in the women's game, and I'm not saying overcome it because it's a tragedy. I'm just saying overcome it because you have to overcome the lesser publicity. That to me is the greater challenge. And with the Diamond Vols, they have just built something phenomenal out there. It's a shame that the city of Knoxville and the University of Tennessee couldn't work together. But now Lindsey Nelson's going to be anything brand new they build in downtown.
Yeah. So I have some stuff coming on Caitlin Clark, guys, later this week. You won't want to miss it. I've got a column coming up, and we're going to talk about it because I have a few hot takes on the Caitlin Clark hype, believe it or not. So I would say on the Diamond, and that's why I'm not giving my answer today. I'll just tell you guys that. I would say on the Diamond, what's happening with college baseball. So getting back to what I wanted to say, because there's less randomness, the Lady Vols team is better than the baseball team. And also it's more of a crapshoot in baseball in the tournament. So I think the Lady Vols actually have a really good shot at a national title, guys, this year. So keep an eye out for that. Although baseball could do it too. Baseball could become a revenue sport for this reason. You are seeing, Dave, something you've never seen before right now, which is this. The decline of minor league baseball is enticing a lot more prospects to go to college than used to, like high profile prospects. Baseball more than any other sport, the best prospects came straight out of high school into the minors. And
well, but it's not just the minors. It's also NIL money.
Yes, and because of NIL, that's a good point. You're going to see college baseball nix minor league baseball. And I want to say about 25 years, as it will only be college baseball at that point. Because right now, what's the draw of minor league baseball? The biggest draw is wanting to see the prospects, right? For your favorite major league team.
Yes.
That they'll play for. They're all going to be playing college baseball. And by within 10 years, every elite prospect will be playing college baseball, not minor league baseball. In Tennessee, that's why they're partnering with the city of Knoxville more. Knoxville Smokies will be totally irrelevant in 25 years.
Yeah, I think anything much lower than a double-A team will be irrelevant, and that's the Smokies. I think they had their opportunity to link arm in arm with the University of Tennessee, and they chose not to do that.